hopefully it will be soon, and it's next on the docket. Van Halen fans are buzzing just a bit because, and I got a few emails about this. I forgot to mention it a couple days ago, so the emails reminded me to do since his brother passed away, has started to get active a bit on Instagram. I didn't even know Alex Van Halen was on Instagram, and someone pointed to my attention that he indeed does have an official Instagram account. And the other day, he posted photos of his drum kit and his kick drum and a photo of him behind his drum kit. I don't know if it was a new photo or it was an old photo that he just decided to put up. And he put some sort of language. I believe it said something like Van Halen forever. So that has gotten, understandably, Van Halen fans and any rock fan, and myself included in that group, of course, excited that maybe there is something going on with Van Halen and with Alex Van Halen, and maybe some degree of interest in Alex Van Halen maybe doing something, playing again, paying tribute to his brother, doing some sort of farewell tribute thing. I mean, everybody is, wondering. I mean, just because there was some activity. Now, again, I know when Jason Newsted was on with us recently, I brought this up to him, and Jason was pretty passionate about when it's right and he wants to do it, it'll be ready to do it. Maybe he's just not ready yet. The reason why I don't feel like that necessarily is the case is because, of course, Jason was the one that admitted and broke the news over a year ago that Alex Van Halen was trying to put something together at that time, and this tribute show. So he was more than ready apparently over a year ago. Why would he be less ready now? Who knows? But the bottom line is just that there is some activity. I mean, Alex Van Halen, there's not been an interview, a peep, nothing. And in general, he was pretty reserved as far as doing press and stuff, even when the band was active. But as everybody has said, including Wolfgang, it really comes down to Al and what Al does and doesn't want to do here. And there is, maybe a little glimmer of hope. Whether it's Alex playing with somebody again, whether it's him doing some sort of Van Halen retrospective thing, whether it's just stuff coming out, who knows? But at least there is some life on social media, and we'll see where that leads. If you remember a few years ago, before the pandemic, I made not a big stink, but I talked a lot about the fact that AC/DC's social media had come to life and become active. AC/DC has official social media accounts that for a while had been totally dormant. And then all of a sudden they started posting photos, video clips, retrospective stuff. And I was saying at that time, maybe this is a signal that AC/DC is going to put out a record. Well, of course, that ended up being the case. Then they got active again, and I said, maybe it's a sign AC/DC are going to do some shows. Well, those shows didn't happen because COVID hit. But as we now know, and from my interview with Brian Johnson here on this show not long ago, Brian admitted that, we were all ready to go, and then COVID hit. So, these little flares from some of these very dormant artists on social media can be encouraging signs, and let's hope if that's potentially the case for Alex Van Halen and anything Van Halen related, which of course we're all clamoring for. There's a documentary that will be on Reel's channel this
fascinating revelation. I have to thank a caller for pointing this out yesterday. He did not make it to air because by that time we had moved on to the top touring artists of the decade topic. But I want to mention that the Van Halen store that I was referencing yesterday, as in vanhalenstore.com, is actually not owned and operated